So it's been a while since I made a video of my houseplants. I had quite a few, and I had the worst mealybug infestation ever. I just could not get rid of them. I lost 80% of my plants. It was pretty devastating. Two of them were pretty special plants, but they had to go. So I slowly and very cautiously and carefully have built up my plant collection. I'm not done yet, but I thought I'd show you the living room at the moment. So this is what you see when you walk in through the middle room of my house and you're going to the living room. So we have our spider plant. Everyone knows that. This is new to me, and she told me what kind of fern it was, but I can't remember. I hope it adjusts well because it's very pretty. It's the very tender, very delicate looking fern. And this, I believe, is pearls and jade. Great big one. Pearls and jade. And actually, this guy is growing on a piece of fishing line, of course, heading towards the window. That's what I like to do with this stuff. And as these get longer, I will add more fishing line and have it going across the ceiling too. This is a curly spider, but it's pretty straight now. I think if it were in the window closer to the sun, it would curl up more. But this is where it is for now. And when I needed the pot it was in. So I took it out knowing I was going to repot it because it was quite pot bound. So I took it out of the pot it was in to use for another plant, and I threw it in a bucket, and there it stayed. And it's actually, as you can see, growing quite fine in the bucket. So I just left it there. And this is a recent purchase. It wasn't doing so good. It only had half the soil in it. So I got it for a very good price from a sweet young lady. And so I'm hoping, I have this kind of leaning against the wall until the roots kick in and it can stand upright. But other than it not having enough soil, it's really healthy. And then over here we have Sansevieria. I love those. And new growth, which is even better. And then up here, everybody's favorite. These are great filler plants for anywhere you want to need extra. The philodendron, just your plain old heartly philodendron. I've had this for years, and all the times I cut pieces off it. But instead, now I have it, it's just about halfway across the ceiling now, growing towards the window. It's doing really well. This one here is even closer to the window. And I hope by next growing season, hopefully it'll reach the window. And over here we have our pothos. And I've got a lot of dead leaves because I overwatered it. And it was looking sad, and I kept thinking, it needs water, but I overdid it. It didn't need water. It needed me to leave it alone. So it's growing, it's growing quite long. And down here is another Sansevieria. They're everywhere. They're so good for the air. Well, all the plants are. And this one too is trailing and on fishing line to grow towards the window. This is a pretty wall. Geez, I can't get it all in. But that's a pretty wall. There's Miss Molly. Yes, I see you. And Chewy next. It's nap time anyway. But that's the wall. One wall. And the second wall. As you can see, there's lots of space for more plants. I'm doing this slowly and carefully. And there's our sweet Charlie Angus in his spot, having a sleep. Are you sleeping, buddy? Yeah. I sleeping, Mom. Leave me alone. So this is a fairly new, as you can tell by the growth, philodendron Brazil. Love those. I went upstairs. It's a big one. This is a newer plant as well, and it's your kangaroo foot fern. And I think that's new. We're going to have a new little pod come up on that there. You can see that. And down below here is another Sansevieria. And my mess, I also do dot art. And right now I'm doing a coffee table. And this is the brightest spot to do it, so I'm almost done. I'm over halfway done, I think. I'll work on that today. And down here we have our pretty wavy fern. And there's Haworthia. Pilea peperomioides. This is a fairly new plant too. It's a, God, what is it called? Help me out here, guys. I'll come back to that one. I'll think of it. This is Beauty. Is a Bolivian bridal veil, and it's a member of the wandering dude family. And you can tell now because there's a lot of brown. You know how they die off so quickly. But it's a very pretty plant. When I first got it, it barely covered the top of the soil, and that's how much it's grown. And yeah, so I'll have to give that a shake and see what comes out of it. There's my beautiful, beautiful prayer plant. I love that guy. He's in a really cool wall basket. I'll show you the back of it. Oh my God, he's so huge. Oh, and he needs watering. But that's, and it's got plastic there, so I didn't need to put it in a pot. But he needs watering. He's very lightweight. There we go. Hope you're on there straight. That's him. And a Ripsalis. Love those guys. Really neat. Oh, yes. That's a peperomia. I do well with the ones that are more like succulents, but I thought I'd give it another try because it's such a pretty little plant. Down here is That's some kind of, I think it's an orange tree my girlfriend gave me to grow for the winter since I have a grow light. My giant aloe. Actually, it's not as big as it was. So I repotted it and gave a lot away. Another Sansevieria down here. But up here is another recent purchase. And you know what that is? Oh, I wanted one of these for such a long time. Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. And as soon as it grows bigger, it'll get a moss pole or a trellis or something to grow. Now comes the tricky part with the sunlight. But here now we have my Linares, Hoya Linares, and it's got blooms starting. The peduncles are there, but they're so slow. This plant got the, look at, there's 5 new shoots coming out on it. This plant, it did get the mealy bugs, but it was only very tiny. There was only maybe half a dozen leaves on it. So I took it out of the soil and I had it just in water for about a month away from all the other plants because I didn't want to lose it. It was an expensive plant. And it survived and it's very happy now. And over here, back up a bit. There we have another Ripsalis and a string of hearts. And it is a big one and it strings everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And let's see here. The sun. There's my Peperomia Hope, one of them. And it's doing really well. It's the only peperomia I can grow is the Peperomia Hope. I'm just going to kick him a little bit out of the way there so you can see my, look at the way it's grown. Yeah, donkey's tail. I can't wait for it to cover the pot. And there we go with our Monstera addisonii. That's a new plant too. New plant. We'll see how that goes. My Monstera's down here. And look at that. Is that not the most beautiful leaf ever? This is just unraveled in the last couple of days, so it's got some growing to do, but it doesn't have just the slits. It's got all those holes too. Just beautiful. My last leaf just had the one hole, so I'm really happy about this one. And this is a big, beautiful green plant. I don't know what the hell it is. Somebody tell me. Nice big leaves on it. It is a pretty plant, nice and healthy, but I don't know what it is. Oh, I didn't show you the other wall when I was done. Yep, lots of room for more. Carefully chosen plants. And that's that wall in front of the window. I don't know what this is. This is a new one, a new plant. I have no idea what it is, but it's very bohemian and foresty, and it's just does its thing. I love it. I got a big one and I split it. I think I got three or four out of it. But it's a lovely plant and it grows really quick, so it's going to be really pretty. And here we have, what do they call these? Is that silk and satin? No. Yes, I think it is. And it's doing really well. And actually it's growing It's grown quite a bit. It grows right across the ceiling. And once it hits that piece of driftwood, I'll turn it and bring it back this way. And it also grows across this way to the end of the driftwood there. Pretty pretty. I like that. And there's another Pearls and Jade right there. It's growing pretty good. It's kind of happy there. Hoya retusa, that's a new one. And as you can see, we got some new leaves coming there. I like the different plants. Over here we have, you know what? I'm gonna have to step up on the sofa. This is the Hoya linaris. I planted this and I'm getting some growth. You can see that. This marble queen up here just hanging out, doing her thing, as you can tell. Maybe a little bit of overwatering. Yeah, and that's your lemon lime philodendron. This is, oh, what is this? String of turtles? No. String of something. There's my string of pearls, and it has to leave this spot because it's far too long. It has to be hung. So I need to make a hanger for it and get a hook for it and hang it up. And over here, this I broke off from the big plant for a friend of mine. But isn't it sweet? I don't know what it is, but it's just the sweetest little plant. And it's growing. You can see the new growth. Look at the new growth coming. Look at that. But I have no idea what it is. This plant, your Chinese evergreen. It's pretty beat up. It was one, I got it at Walmart. There's my stuff for making hangers. And so I picked the one that was the least beat up. If you can imagine, this is the least beat up one. And took it home. But look at the leaves. They're just beautiful. I couldn't even do that with a paintbrush. Gosh. And there's a little Sansevieria, the bird nest Sansevieria. And I think that's all the plants in the living room. Oh, one more. This is amazing. I hung it here because I had no other place to put it at the time. And look at all the new growth I got. So it might stay there, it might not. I have pictures I want to put on the wall there, and if it's in the way, it'll have to be moved. But that is all the plants I have in my living room right now. There is space for more, and I will get more. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully I'll get more plants, no pests. And there we go. And that's one of my parrots in the background. Yeah, he's doing the musical part of this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.